They say the dream is free, the hustle is sold separately, right? Um, I always dream big. I always dream that the my brother-in-law was very successful, and by association, you know, when you are around people that they are very successful, and you understand that they are made out of bone, and, and blood and skin, you get to realize that you can do it too. That
Mm,
was the first affirmation for me. Is like I knew someone that they actually were able to do it, and I was like, man, don't. It's not about devaluating what they done, but it's actually making believe yourself that you can do it too. So that was by 2014. I already pay off everybody, even my brother-in-law. I
wow.
pay off my brother-in-law. I pay the company, and I started seeing a little bit of money. Um, so I was like a successful, right? It's like I
Right.
already pay off
I
the
made it.
company,
I'm a
see a
business
little
owner
bit
and
of
I'm,
money,
yeah.
and but there was something in me that one of if you know me, you, you will see that one of my biggest trait as a human being is that I'm a very grateful man. Everything, maybe because of my background, um, for me everything is gravy. Because from I'm constantly checking on where I'm coming from, where I am. So everything is gravy for me. Very grateful for what I have, and yet at that moment there was something inside of me that I understood there was something was missing, and I started looking, and I enrolled into Broward County College. Any school wasn't for me at that moment. I always say that I didn't go to school, but business was the school for me.
Right.
I
This,
I learned business through the business.
the
Uh,
school of hard knocks, right?
yes, yes, thank you. Um, so that is when I started, and I started reading books. And I remember the one of the first books, and I always suggest recommend that book is the E Myth by
Yeah.
Gerber, and he speak a lot about working on the business, not in the business.
Hmm.
So that is when I really start working on the business. I start changing the mindset. I subscribe to a group of entrepreneurs, and man, I remember that I kid you not. I will put pennies. I will put coins together to make the flight to get to those guys, and some guys they were arriving in their private planes, and then I was at it was a sort of a stressful stretch, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, but as every elastic band, once you stretch, when it return, it doesn't come to the same location. It comes a little bit stretch, and that was a stretch for me. I was 35 years old. The average age of those guys, they were about 42, 45, and I was pretty much the only native Spanish speaker. All of the other guys, they were either from England, Australia, or United States, uh, already successful, but maybe having issues in other areas, maybe marriage, maybe some vices. For me, it was money. I didn't know how to manage. I didn't know how to make it. And then by association, I start seeing it, and I start believing in myself. One of the biggest things is like I used to believe that I was a white shark on a small tub, in a hot tub, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
when you bigger the pond and you start swimming with these really big sharks, and by association you start believing that it is possible, and you start hearing the story of other guys, and then it's like, man, this guy is no many different from me, right? We have the same fears, concerns, dreams, uh, the nature of the dreams, the nature of the concerns, the nature of the fears, they usually about the same. Entrepreneurs, we usually believe that we are a lone wolf, and we share many, um, at the core, usually are the same issues that we are dealing. And that's why I like, to be involved in different type of programs or groups like Leading Peers, because we get to share with each other, and we're not different from the other, right? It's just the specific of the industry or in the business, but the core of it is about the same.
And I know that you have a huge passion for personal development. You and I share that. Could you describe the magnitude of your investment in personal development, and how your membership in Leading Peers fits into that picture of your total investment in personal development?
Oh my God. Well, I'm a guy who, I see my, those, let's say, tennis players, right? So they have the nutritionists, they have the coaches, they have the mentors, so they are surrounded by other people who are really good at one department that helps this person to grow as a whole. And that's how I see myself. So I have mentors, personal coaches. I do even have a shaman, because I'm big into the spiritual growth. I meditate mostly twice a day during the week. I have my even meditation room, which I call it medinaptation room, uh, in my office. Um, and it's just my investment is in this, I would say, multiple six figures
Mm,
per year. Per year,
that's incredible.
so leading peers is just one little aspect. I know everybody who's listening is like at Gonzalo, like we're gonna kill you after this, but I I get great value. That's why I'm staying, honestly. I am in groups that I pay 50K. I am with the coaches that charge me 60K, you know, um,
That's per year. Per
per year.
year.
So 400 bucks a month. It's a no-brainer for me.
And Gons, what did Leading Peers bring to your life that was missing until you joined? Why is it so valuable to you?
Perspective, uh, very assertive when it comes to business. Um, I get in other groups is about maybe there are different focus intentions, right? This one is purely business, associated with, you can bring any topic that you want to your meeting. So it can be personal, it can be, something you're dealing with. One of the things that I really admire about you is your natural capacity to bring back to the main topic, to the conversation. People love to talk about this about the topic, and then this about the story of the topic, because they love to try to make a case about their story, and sometimes it's just a story, and you bring them back, right? um, you
Thank you
have
for that.
you have that, you know. I always say that things are born from the top, and in sort of a cascade, they start coming down. um, Leading peers is made out of people who have they're very genuine. They're not trying to sell you anything. There no are like other groups that they come and they try to take from you, that kind of stuff. And I love about that, you know. So leading peers for me, it brings me focus, you know, what's your the clear intention, what is like the plan. I'm a practical guy, you know. It's just if we're gonna chat just about it, I call it mental masturbation. I'm sorry, but that's how I call it, right? So it's just what I once you identify the situation, my next question is, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
What is the action? Because without applying any action, we're just gonna sit here and speak about it. But if you identify what's the issue and you apply, even if it doesn't work that one, at least you know that you're working towards the solution. Maybe that wasn't the way. You come back to the drawing map, you know, drawing board, and you come up with something else until you figure it out.
Gonz, you've been a member for just over 2 years.
Yes.
And what could you share with our listeners, who many of them are members of Leading Peers, about one thing that you do to get the most value out of your membership? Maybe that changed. Maybe the first year, you focus on one thing to get the most out of Leading Peers, and now it's different. You're learning to use your time and your relationships in a different way. So if there was a shift, walk us through that shift. And if it's been the same thing, what's that thing that you focus on to get the most value, that clarity you talked about, that accountability of action? What is it?
It's clarity. You know, it's about getting clear on what is it that you want, where you want to be, and apply the steps towards that direction. For me, I am in a place where honestly I pay my bills. I might be in a different season per se of other businesses. So my question, they might differ also by my personality, but I can tell you that being open, being honest to yourself, it can be one of the best things that you can do with yourself, you know. Uh, Not only because when you're vulnerable, somehow you lower the guards of other people and they can be real also. So when I go to the group and I have whatever issue that I'm dealing with, challenge, opportunity of growth, you know, I just being humble. This is look at, hey, this is where I am. I know any better. Otherwise, I will be doing something different, right? If
Right.
I knew it better, I will be already there. But I'm not there because I am no, uh, because I don't know, and I'm learning as I go.